Hey guys, August 11th, 2024, and I'm officially back in Minnesota right now. I escaped a little bit of the Florida summer heat. Now I'm back up here and enjoying the Minnesota summer. So, yeah, I spent about 3 days driving up here, and I am back in Minnesota once again. So, I'm also still on my mission of getting $5,000 a month in passive cash flowing income. So I'm actually not doing van life right now because I'm kind of staying at my dad's place for a few months anyway, till I drive back to Minnesota. So I'm not doing van life, but in spirit of this channel, I'm doing a video from the van. So that's why I'm in my van doing a video. It's just our tradition. All right, so how am I getting to my goal of $5,000 a month? What have I learned along the way? And how far close am I to it? So my goal is to have $5,000 passive cash flowing income. So I've learned a couple things. I was going to go either real estate. I was also going to go through business acquisition, and I still believe in doing both of those. So my biggest flaws that I have is one and two. I guess three. I don't know what I'm doing yet, so I'm still in the learning phase. I have not looked at enough deals to make an offer. That's just on my part, kind of from not knowing enough yet. And the other one is my other flaw is lack of focus. It's like, Travis, just pick one. But I'm interested in everything, so that's why I haven't picked one yet. So I'm still looking at the two. So I watched two very good videos this week, and here's what I've learned about which one I should go with. I'm not going to pick one. I know it sounds contradictory, but I'm learning both of them still. So there's a great video online called is by Coach Carson. You can look him up, just like type in Coach Carson, Carson, Coach Carson Real Estate. And he's got a great video about the 80-20. So my whole goal has always just been passive. It has been cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. So if you listen to Rich Dad Poor Dad, he has got a whole book entitled Cash Flow. If you watch Shark Tank, Mr. O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, he talks about cash flow. The name of the game is cash flow. And I do believe in that until I watched a fantastic video on Coach Carson's channel, who obviously he believes in cash flow, don't get me wrong. And he interviewed a guy, and the guy talked about it with real estate. Cash flow is not always your biggest generator of wealth. Cash flow does bring in continuous income, but if you're trying to get really wealthy, cash flow is not necessarily your biggest generator of becoming rich on there. And he talks about the 80-20 rule. In essence, I'll brief it down for you. 80% of your riches in real estate are going to come from essentially the real estate increasing in value, or you're adding value to it. And 20% is going to come from your cash flow on there. So that was a huge eye opener for me, because I had always been focused on cash flow. So that was one thing that I learned from the Coach Carson channel and gave me a new perspective on cash flow. Am I still going for $5K a month at this point? Absolutely. Is that a huge amount? No, but it gave me another perspective on it. The other thing I watched was Alex Hormozi. You know, I'm a huge Alex Hormozi guy. And he talked about millionaires and billionaires. And obviously I'd love to be both of them. He talked about a lot of people become millionaires by real estate. Absolutely. It's a fantastic way to go. I mean, a lot of people lost money in real estate, but a lot of people have made their money in real estate too. Then he went in there and he talked about billionaires. Now, what makes a billionaire? Now, there have been billionaire real estate investors, but essentially what he's saying is to become a billionaire, like the ultra 1% rich, you have to they look for businesses to acquire and then businesses to flip and kind of turn around. And a lot of billionaires are able to find equity and unsung value with businesses. And it's easier to do that with a business acquisition than it is, I guess, potentially to do it with real estate. So that gave me another perspective on it too. Because obviously I want to be gigantically uber, wealthy. I absolutely want to be that. Do I work hard enough for it? No, I do not. Do other people work harder than I do? Yes. But I'm still in the learning phase, and I need to look at more. I need to know what I'm doing more, and I need to analyze more deals more, and I need to jump in the deep end of the pool more. So those are two things I have learned. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. I do ask you to subscribe to. I want to get to 500 subscribers by September. That'd be fantastic. So I'm at like 3 something right now, which is nothing. But anyway, thank you so much for doing that. It does help me out, because I do want to be able to monetize this channel and have a cash flowing segment. This being a cash flowing segment for me too. Even if it's a small amount, it's one of my goals. So thank you so much. So those are two things I've learned. real estate, if you want to be rich in real estate, a lot of it's going to come from your property increasing in value, or you find a way to increase the property in value. It's the 80-20 rule. Traditionally, about 20% is going to come from cash flow, which cash flow has been, once again, has been my focus. So I learned that. And I also learned about the importance of business acquisition from Alex Hormozi, where I want to be in the 1%. And you're going to have to find out how to become good at acquiring businesses to do that. So, yep, we'll see you next week, and I'll tell you what I've learned and how I've progressed. Oh, the last thing I'm going to say is my plan. Today I'm going to sit down and just really kind of get my plan down. So Patrick Bet-David, he's got a lot of good content too, and he, of course, has a good, talks about getting a plan. Coach Carson has a really good plan video on there. If you look him up, just type in like Coach Carson, and I think like how much money do I need to make, something like along those lines. And otherwise, just like search his channel and you should come across it. But he kind of breaks down, like, let's say you wanted to have whatever, $5,000 worth of passive cash flow income like me. How much equity and property do you need to have in there? Like, how many properties do you need to achieve that? So you kind of reverse engineer. So those are the things that I've been learning. I encourage you guys to get on your track too, and we'll talk to you next week.